All right, number 4. Guess what? We're going to do the same thing, only they're going to make it a little trickier. They always like to do that, don't they? So, this time we are taking our 3x squared minus 1 and we're going to divide it into, and what they did on this one is they messed the order all up, and we have to make sure when we write it down we put it in the proper order. So I'm going to have 3x to the 4th first because that has my highest exponent, minus the 9x to the 3rd. Then I'm going to have the positive 11x squared. Then there aren't any x's, so now I'm going to put a 0x as a placeholder. And then I'm going to have the minus 4, so that everything lines up right. 4, 3, 2, 1, none on my variables. So if they skip a term, I'm going to put a 0 in its spot, just in case I need to line up some like terms. Okay, so we want to put this in what's called descending order. If there's a missing term, we're going to put a 0 in its spot. Now we're going to do it like we did the previous one. So, what do I take times 3x squared to get 3x to the 4th?
1x squared.
1x squared, exactly. So, 3x squared times 1x squared is 3x to the 4th. The 1x squared times the minus 1 is just a 1 or minus 1x squared, right? That's going to go under here because I got to line up my like terms. So now I got to subtract and change my signs. That's negative, that makes that positive, that cancels out the 3x to the 4th. So now I'm going to have minus 9x to the 3rd plus 12x to the 2nd plus my 0x minus my 4. Okay, so what do I need to take times my 3x squared to get a negative 9x to the 3rd? Minus 3x. Okay, so we have a minus 3x. We're going to multiply that out. 3x squared times my minus 3x is minus 9x to the 3rd. Negative 1 times negative 3x would be a positive 3x, and we're going to line that up under the x column. That's why we had that 0 there as a placeholder. Then we have to change our signs, so that's a plus, and that becomes a minus. So now we have 12x squared minus 3x minus 4. That's going to come down. So what do we take times our 3x squared to get a 12x squared? 4. A positive 4. So we're going to have 12x squared, and then we're going to have minus 4, which is going to go over here. Then we have to change our signs. Negative and a positive. The 12x squareds are going to cancel. I'm going to have a minus 3x, and negative 4 and positive 4 is going to cancel. So I just get a minus 3x down there on that one. Now again, since this exponent on our divisor is higher than this exponent here, I can't do anything with that. So what they're going to have you do is the remainder is going to go up here on top of this fraction, the minus 3x in this case. My quotient is going to go after the equal. They really don't need the 1 in front of the x squared, so x squared minus 3x plus 4. So the quotient they're going to put after the equal sign, the remainder is going to go up on top of that fraction, which happens to be the divisor. So a little bit different way to write the answer, meaning the exact same thing we just did. All right. Number 5. Number 5, we have 5x squared plus 3. And when we write down what we're dividing that into, what should go first?
negative 10x.
Negative 10x to the fourth.
10x to the fourth. Minus 20x.
Minus 20x to the third.
X to the third. Plus 9x.
Plus 9x to the second. Yep.
Minus 13x.
Minus 13x. And plus the 16, right?
16.
So they didn't skip any terms on that one. They just had it in a crazy order. So now we got to do our dividing. What times 5x squared gives me negative 10x to the fourth?
2x squared.
And what's my sign? Going to have to be negative, right? Negative 2x squared to get a negative 10x to the fourth.
Oh, I did put negative 10.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, it's supposed to be negative 10, right?
Yeah.
All right, so when we multiply by my negative 2x squared, what am I going to get?
You're going to get 10x
I'm going to get my negative 10x to the fourth,
to the fourth.
and then I'm going to get
Negative 6.
negative 6x to the
Second.
second. So I need to line that up under the x to the second column.
Oops, wrong thing. 6x to the power. Let me erase that.
So always make sure you get it lined up right. That's why we rearranged it and put it in order.
Okay.
Okay, so now we got to change our signs.
Yeah, change our signs.
Plus and a plus, and cancel that out. So we're going to have minus 20x to the third, positive 15x to the second, minus 13x, and plus 16, right?
Okay.
So now, what are we going to take times our 5x squared to get a minus 20x to the third?
Minus 4.
Minus 4.
4x. Just 4x, right?
Yep, minus 4x, exactly. So, we're going to get a minus 20x to the third. And then we're going to get
minus 12x. So that's going to go under 13.
Yep, exactly. Then we have to change our signs so we can cancel that out, and we're going to bring down
1.
15x squared minus 1x
Minus 1x.
plus 16, right?
16.
And we got to repeat it one more time.
So 5 goes into 15 3 times.
So positive 3, which would give me
15
x squared.
And that one goes to 16.
Yep, plus 9, right? And then we have to
Change our signs.
change our signs, so we're going to get So-
Negative 1x.
plus 7,
plus
right?
7.
So, our quotient is negative 2x squared minus 4x plus 3. Our remainder, here again you don't really need the 1 in front of the x, so we could just write it as negative x plus 7. And that's going to go up on top that fraction in that little box. Which will get bigger when you type.
Or if you punch it in, if I did that negative 1x, is that going to show up wrong?
I think it will probably say it's correct, however, and
Okay.
remind you you don't need the 1. I'm not positive. It gets pickier when you get into college algebra. You want to try not to put the ones there,
Okay.
but it will probably say it's correct, however. So, okay, one more of those.
Holy, this one's got 3.
So, this one's got 3. It actually will be a shorter problem, but that's okay. We're going to get negative 3x squared plus 2x plus 3, which is in the right order. And then when we write our other terms down,
We are going to go minus 6x. 6x to
Minus 6x to the fourth.
to the fourth. Plus 4x to the third, plus 11.
Before we do the plus 11x,
Ah,
because what do we need next? 3, then 2, right? There's not any squared, so what do we do?
put that 0x.
Put 0x squared, right?
Plus 0x.
We have 0x squareds,
Minus 3.
then we have the plus 11x, and then the minus 3,
Oh,
right? So we have 4, 3, 2, 1, none.
4, 3.
See all the exponents? They go down in descending order. 4, 3, 2, and then to the first, and then the constant term. Okay, so watch for that. If there's no squareds, I put 0x squareds, or whatever one it is. Okay, now we can go ahead and divide.
So negative 3 goes into 6 2 times, so it's going to be 2x squared.
So when we multiply that out, we're going to get,
Negative 6x. 4.
okay, then we're going to get,
Am I going to do the 2 or the 3?
you're going to do both of them, so you're
Oh,
going to do
both
the
of
2
them.
first and then the 3.
Oh, okay, so that's going to be 4x, so it's going to be plus 4x.
4x to the third, right?
To the third. And then you go over to the 11.
Nope. Because you're going to have 3 times 2x squared, which is 6x squared, right?
Oh, okay, so it's going to
So it's going to line up here.
6x squared. Okay,
Okay, then what are we going to do?
we're going to change our sign.
Change our sign. This is going to be plus, that's going to be minus, and that's going to be a minus, and what's going to happen?
Cancel out the 6.
Hmm?
So is that going to be like x squared?
Nope,
It just cancels out.
it cancels out. 4 minus 4 is none, right?
Okay,
Then we're going to have
6
minus 6
minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 3.
Exactly. So now, I'm taking what times negative 3x squared to get a minus 6x squared?
Um, 2.
Just a 2. It's going to actually go right there because we got to skip that term there because it canceled out.
Plus 2.
So when we multiply that out, we would get
Negative 6x. So that'd be 4x
plus 4x
plus 6.
plus 6. And then we're going to subtract, so we change our signs.
That cancels out. This is going to be
7x
7x minus 3.
minus what?
You got different numbers?
This is a negative 3, and this we changed to minus 6, right?
Oh yeah, so it's going to be plus 3.
No.
Oh, what is it?
When you have both signs the same, you add and keep the sign.
Oh, you add and keep the sign.
A negative 3 minus a 6 is minus 9, right? So in this case, my quotient is 2x squared plus 2. She didn't leave us much space there, but we can squish it in. My remainder, 7x minus 9.
2